Okay. Now we're finally ready to actually start planning out maneuvers. Now there are two ways you can, change your vector. Your vector is defined by your course and your speed. So you could either change your course or your speed, or if you wanted to, you could change both. That's not helpful. But if we remember back in the rules state that a change of course is typically preferable to a change of speed. The reason for that is because it's both. A lot of merchant ships are, big and hulky and bulky, and might not have an easy time changing their speed so quickly because the machinery is just not designed to have a really quick speed change like that. Additionally, it's because a change in course will be immediately obvious to all the ships around you. If you're watching a ship and it's supposed to give way for you, and you just see it suddenly turn like this, it's giving way for you. There's no question about that. If it changes its speed, it's going to be harder to judge that. Eventually on the radar, you're going to see its vector reduce, and that's going to show you that it maneuvered for you. But changing your course is just generally the better method, especially if you 100% have the ability to do it, if there's sea room all around you. We're going to learn how to do both. We're going to start here with the Merchant Marine method, because I think it will now be easier to show with each of them, though I do actually prefer the Navy method. Let's assume that what we want to do is we want to change course. And what we want, let's say you contacted your captain, told them about Contact C, how it's got a 0-mile CPA and how we're the giveaway vessel. And your captain, they instructed you to maneuver so that you open the CPA up to 2 miles. So we want it to come out to here. That way it doesn't hit us. 2 miles is pretty reasonable. Sometimes a mile is fine. Depends on the captain. Let's do 2 miles. Firstly, what you have to accept is that you're not going to be able to change course right now. For one thing, when you recorded M2, it was, it says 1508 here. That's not, you then took what could be like 6 or 7 minutes doing all of these calculations. It's not going to take as long as I've shown it to be because I've been explaining everything. But if you've got multiple contacts like here, it could take you a little while to figure out which one is a concern and which one you have to maneuver for. Hopefully it hasn't gotten to the point where it's already going to hit you. We have 27 minutes. So usually you're either in reality, your captain will just tell you to maneuver for it. A word problem will say that you maneuver at time like 15. So what we're essentially going to have to do is DR out for each of these contacts until 15:15. Usually they give us all the contacts at the exact same time. So you took M1 at 1500 for all of them, then M2 at 1506. And then they say that you maneuver exactly 6 minutes later, in which case you would just here's 6 minutes, you just jump forward another 6 minutes and mark that point. However, I think that's kind of unrealistic. In reality, it's going to be more complicated for that, and you're going to need probably more time to get ready for your maneuver. So we're going to say we wait until 15:15. So if we've got M1 and M2 here, we're going to create an M3 to plot on, as that's going to be the point where we intend to maneuver. And we're actually going to do that for all 3 contacts. So M1 Contact C, we're going to start with it just because it's the priority here. M2 was taken at 1508, so there's going to be an additional 7 minutes before 15:15. So if we come down here, we know Contact C has a speed of 17 knots. If we mark 7 minutes here and predict how long it's going to take, how far Contact C is going to move in 7 minutes, we get 2 nautical miles. So we measure out 2 nautical miles. We place it here, and we label that, like I said, M3. So that's the point we intended to maneuver on. Now we got to do that for all 3, for the other 2. So contact B has a speed of 10 minutes. Remember, their last shot was at 15:07, so it's going to be 8 minutes until, or 15:15 is going to occur 8 minutes later for them. So we're going to do 10 knots, or 10 minutes, or yes, sorry, 10 knots for the next 8 minutes. Okay, and you can see it lands halfway between a little ways between 1.25. Let me zoom in so you can see better. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 1.5. Or no, sorry, here's 1.5, here's 1.25. It's a little bit past 1.25 towards 1.5. I'll say 1.3 miles. So they're going to have gone 1.3 miles. So there's M3, where they should be at 15:15 for contact B. Contact C, last shot was at 15:06. They have relative speed of 8 knots, so 15:06 is going to be 9 minutes until 15:15 for them. So we measured that out. Well, if in 6 minutes a vessel going 8 knots goes 0.8 knots, in another 3 minutes it would go 0.04. I don't know, 0.4 knots, meaning they would come together to 1.2. You can see it lands a little bit before the 1.25. Having done it in my head as well, I know it should be exactly 1.2 nautical miles. So we measure out 1.2 here. Bring it up here. And there's our M3. Okay. Now we'll actually start maneuvering.